We're on.
Okay, we are live now. Welcome to Will the Crime Writer Lie to You? I'm going to go around and introduce everyone in a second. I'm just going to let a few more people come onto the stream. 14,000. Wow, it's quite a large. Oh, no, it's not really. We've got one. We got the first comment, and it's from my dad. So someone's watching. So, this is the Crime Writer Lie to You. We're gonna have two teams. So first, I'm going to introduce Team A. That's what I'm going to call them. Team A of liars, and then I'm going to tell you what is going to happen. So in Team A, team captain is Craig Robertson. Say hello to everyone, Craig.
Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone.
Do you want to
Why did I become captain? Never mind.
What's your latest book, Craig?
It is called Watch Him Die. It came out in June. It is half set in Glasgow, half set in Los Angeles, and they have to catch someone or else watch him die.
Ooh.
Not catch him, find him. God, I so nearly got that right.
On Craig's team, it is Alexandra Sokoloff. Welcome, Alex.
Hello.
What's your latest book?
What? No, my latest book. Right. It's been a while since I've heard that Scouts thing. My latest book is book 6 in the Huntress FBI thrillers about an FBI team in California on the hunt for a female serial killer who kills all the men who need to be killed. She's got a big job ahead of her. And you have to start from the beginning. So the first one is Huntress Moon.
Excellent. And then we have Caro Ramsey. Welcome, Caro.
Hello.
And what's your latest book?
The Red Snow, which is about a mysterious killer in a Scottish glen, and there's a lot of snow, and there's an avalanche, and it's a sort of lockdown with snow. So it's a really depressing book to read at the moment. There's a lot of death in it, though, so that's a bit more cheery.
Excellent. And round off that team, it's the man with the greatest background. It is Abir Mukherjee.
Hello. How are you, Lilia? This is just up. Always like this. Yeah. What can I say? Yeah, my new book's called, well, it's been out for a wee while. It's called Death in the East, and it's a locked room mystery, and it's set in the far east of India and the east end of London. See what I did there? And it's a pleasure to be on Bill Bailey's team, can I just say?
Craig, not impressed with that. So that's it. That's team. Well, it's all Scottish writers, and then an honorary Scot in Alex. So
which one's that me? Okay.
Oh, we've lost Craig, I think, but never mind. Team B, we have team captain is Mark Billingham. Welcome, Mark.
Hello, mate.
And your latest book
is called Crybaby, and it is a prequel to my first ever book, Sleepyhead.
Excellent. And on Mark's team, it's Stuart Neville. Welcome, Stuart.
Am I here or am I not here?
Ah, that's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
Professional.
That's all that needs to be said.
Yes.
Please, for Christ's sake.
Hang on, who's that Abir?
That's Joe Knox. That's Joe Knox with your face in front of him. I thought I'd just mix it up a bit. See if you noticed.
I'm not having that. A younger crime writer than me. I'm the one who's supposed to be the youngest one. That's not fair.
We'll stay like this, yeah. We'll go with this.
Next up on Team B, it is Joe Spain. Welcome, Joe.
Hey. How's it going?
And what's your latest book?
It's going right out of my head, but I am very conscious of the book I'm on at the moment, which is coming out. It's The Perfect Lie. It's set in Long Island. It opens with a woman walks to the door and opens her apartment door to detectives, and behind her, her detective husband goes to the window and jumps out to his death. And a year later, she's in court for his murder.
I read
I
this.
can't remember the last book I wrote.
I,
Because I'm working on it.
I loved it. I read it recently, so hopefully everyone goes out and
Especially put it up. That's why it's in my brain.
And finally, it's Lilia. Welcome, Lilia.
Thank you. You didn't want to pronounce my last name, did you?
Yeah, have a go at it, Luca. Come on.
Not even trying. No, because
I can do it. I can do it. I can do it.
Go on, Abir.
Here.
Oh, there you go.
Very good.
See,
Yes.
Abir every time. Lilia, I can only apologize, but I'm not really sorry because people have been doing it to me for years, so it's fine.
I know. It's fine. It's fine. In Iceland, we all go by first name anyway. These surnames are impossible.
And what's your latest book, Lilia?
It's called Betrayal, and it's a political thriller about a woman who goes into politics to hit a conspiracy on day 2 in office. Yeah.
So it looks like we've lost Craig. He's
No, we haven't.
Next to Alex.
We've got him.
Look at that. How good that.
It's the miracles of
craft.
something.
I mean, the thing is that for people who don't know that Craig and Alex were together, that just looked really like that.
That looked like Jesus. He's rushed all the way around to Alex's house.
In case you didn't realize.
It's when the rest of us walk in the door behind them that they're really going to get shot.
If everybody else walks in, yeah, I'm going to be surprised.
Right, so this is what the Crime Writer Lied to. I'm going to lead you through this next 8 hours of entertainment. We're going to try and break in the middle because Stuart's already asked for a little
Comfort break.
Room break. We won't go for 8 hours, 7.5 tops. So there's 2 teams, and each of them have prepared 3 statements, and they'll either be a truth or a lie. I've been informed it's like Call My Bluff or Would I Lie to You on BBC One. I'd just like to point out for anyone who's legal watching that this bears 0 resemblance to any of that. Please don't sue us. But we're going to go round. The other team will question that person on the veracity of their claim, and then after a few minutes of questioning, I'll then call for a vote, and then the team will vote, and then the team captain, in the event of a tie, will make the decision, and then we'll get a point for their team if they are correct, and then the other team will get a point if they don't get it correct. Does that sound like I knew what I was saying?
Hang on.
I wasn't listening.
We've got a few people watching. You can comment. You can say if you think that people are telling the truth, telling the lie. If you have heard the story before, keep it to yourself, and don't just give it away. Mick has already said Joe's book sounds interesting. Very impressed by what I have read of hers. So we've sold 1 book, Joe.
It's not out yet.
We've also
5 other ones.
We've also got Callie Taylor watching, Colin, Paul.
Oh, hey, Callie.
John's here. My dad is here. Keith Walters is here. So yeah, I think half my family will be here as well. So yeah, that's great. So we are going to kick off on Team A. Team A is going to go first, and Craig is going to be first up.
Oh, come on. I've been running up and down stairs for God's sake.
Get on with it, Robertson.
All right. And also, okay, let me do this. So I'll tell you my truth first. Is that right? I'll tell you the truth first.
Oh, dear.
So, Hollywood actress, some would say Hollywood royalty, Meg Ryan, once stole my football match tickets.
Right. So we're going to go with Mark, Stuart, Joe, and Lilia. You are the ones who are going to be questioning Craig on this. So, Mark, do you want to kick us off?
What were the tickets for? What was the game?
It was Lazio against Milan.
Okay. What were you doing in Italy?
On holiday.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we were at we were in Italy, in Rome to be exact.
And were you with Meg Ryan?
Oh wait, sorry.
Were you with Meg Ryan there? Was she in your
I was
hotel?
not with Meg Ryan, no. She bumped into me by chance and stole from me.
From your pocket?
No, from my late wife's handbag.
Ooh.
Like actually
What,
shook
you
her hand and
pickpock-
pilfered them.
Pickpocketed you?
Yes.
Oh.
Do you know this to be true, or it's just a suspicion you have?
No, well, so here's how it played out. We were at the Vatican, obviously. Why are you laughing? Why are you
Yeah,
laughing?
go on.
We were at the Vatican, and the Pope was there, and the real one, John Paul II, he was doing his Sunday morning mass because it was Sunday. And we were standing watching this. There was lots of other people. It wasn't just us. And right next to us was Meg Ryan. Handbag. See, I'm not going to say it was Jackie's fault, but the handbag was slightly open. Meg Ryan standing next to us. I looked and I thought, you better shut that bag. That's not safe. There's a lot of people around. Next thing, the very next thing, we're all watching the Pope. Tickets are going. Meg Ryan has stolen them.
Mm.
I think that's flimsy evidence to base an accusation, serious accusation on, to be honest. You know,
I didn't see her put her hand in, or else obviously I'd have called for a carabinieri on the spot.
Mm.
But
There was no evidence. I mean, if you'd seen footage of this game on TV and the camera had cut to the crowd and there's Meg Ryan going,
that's
And
a
maybe.
very good point. So I got other tickets for the game, went to the game, tried to find my seat with Meg Ryan on it. Couldn't remember what my seat numbers were.
Oh. You could
I think
have-
this is going to be one of those, there's a little bit of truth in it, but generally it's a lie. That's allowed, isn't it, Luca?
It is, yeah. So I mean, it's just the statement that needs to be true or false, and his statement is Meg Ryan stole his Lazio Milan tickets.
I can retweak that if you like. To the best of my belief, Meg Ryan stole my Lazio Milan tickets.
Well, you might well believe it, but that's a different thing, isn't it? Completely different thing.
It's up to you.
Don't believe you on the edge.
Right now.
Remember, those watching in the commentary, you can say whether it's a lie or not. There's a few people who are saying it's a lie.
Okay, team, what do we think?
Welcome to what Craig believes.
Stuart, what do you think?
Craig believes a lot of strange.
I think it's the biggest bit of bullshit I've heard for a long time.
Joe?
He keeps looking right, which is allegedly the informational side of the brain, and left is the creative. But then I don't know if I'm getting it back to front.
Yeah, you might be getting
there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so if he's looking left, he's creating like a madman.
Lilia, do you think it's true? You held up a sign that says true.
Joe, if it
Yeah.
helps, that's my right.
I mean, he usually believes everything I tell him. So I mean, if it's his that Meg Ryan stole them, I mean, yeah.
Okay, well, Lilia says true, Stuart says false. Joe, what do you think?
I'm going false.
All right, I'll go with the majority. It's bullshit.
Right, okay, in the comments, there's a lot of people saying lie. My dad said he's shady. Someone
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's because what you've told him.
Yeah, I know, but I think that he said that before you even started, to be fair. And Colin Ward points out the Vatican in Rome in Milan.
No. Milan were the away team. Come on, keep up, Colin.
Yeah, the Lazio is a Rome team, isn't it?
I've not got Meg Ryan down as a football fan, a soccer fan in any way, shape,
I
or
don't
form.
think so. I didn't think you wanted them just for the game. I think it's an illness.
However,
Okay,
Don't give them
Craig's lawyers are on the case.
Well, Winona Ryder used to go out in sprees together.
Okay,
That may not be true.
we've called it. We've called a lie.
Okay, Craig, reveal to us, was this a true or a lie?
I don't have a card to hold up, but it was in fact completely true.
Oh!
No.
Okay.
That is a point to Team A. It was
All right.
completely true. So, Craig, did you ever kind of, see it again? Have you bumped into it?
I went looking for her. I've never bumped to her in any other sort of
You've
event.
seen her at Wraith Rovers.
No, she has standards. Come on. She's not going to go into Tortoni. Sorry, Val, if you're watching, which you probably are. Shit. Now you see what you've got me into, Mukherjee.
You're a dead man, Craig. Dead man walking.
Oh, geez.
I blame Luca.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
No, Abir, look at that face. Look at that big smile on that face. That's not a liar. That
puts me to sleep. That's what I look at night.
Yeah.
What is it?
Right. Okay. So, yeah, comments and all like they were all thought it was a lie. You fooled them all, Craig. You fooled them all. So, Team B, Mark, you're first up. Give us your first statement.
Okay, my elevator pitch is this. I played poker with 2 different James Bonds and Mr. Blobby.
Tell us, was it the same game?
No.
No,
Two
that would be ridiculous.
very different games, many years apart.
Which James Bonds were they?
The first game was with Daniel Craig. I used to play poker around at my friend Andre's house in the mid to late 80s. He was a comedian called Andre Vincent. And in the flat above him was an out-of-work actor called Daniel Craig. And Daniel used to hang around in his pants or come down and play poker with him. I once gave him a lift to Glastonbury, but that's another story. That's the unexciting bit of the story. The second James Bond is much more fun.
Was it Connery?
Mr. Blobby, was it?
Sorry?
Which Mr. Blobby was it?
There was only ever one Mr. Blobby.
And the second James Bond, who was that?
Was it Bob
Roger Moore.
Wallace?
Roger Moore.
Tell us that story.
So, 1997, my wife was directing Noel's House Party. And for those of you unfamiliar, Lilia, you've probably been spared this. But Noel's House Party, a live TV show from Crinkly Bottom. And Noel Edmonds was about the biggest star on TV at this time. And various people would come to his house, live TV show, obviously in a TV studio. And the guest that week was Roger Moore. And the basic setup was that the doorbell would go, Noel would go, who's at the door, and answer it. And it was Roger Moore, dressed up in a tuxedo and everything. And the basic comic setup was that there was a big high-stakes poker game at Crinkly Bottom, and Noel Edmonds was the evil genius, and Roger Moore would be James Bond, and Blobby would be playing. And then there were 3 other people. So the basic joke was that Noel Edmonds would go, 100,000, and Roger Moore would go, I call. And then somebody else would go, I call. And then Blobby would go, Blobby, 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 Blobby. That was literally it.
That's comic genius, that is.
So I was there just hanging around the studio because my wife was directing it live. And during the day, they have to rehearse it and sort all the camera positions out. But they only pay the extras for half a day. So, because it's the BBC and they're fucking mean. So they had Roger Moore and Mr. Blobby with his head off. And Noel, and then they had to have 3 extra people sit in. So like they got a floor manager, an assistant cameraman or somebody, I don't know. And then Claire asked me to go and sit in, and I sat there during this rehearsal, just miming playing poker with Roger Moore and Noel Edmonds and Mr. Blobby. Obviously, I didn't do the actual live broadcast, which was a complete disaster because Blobby very famously never did anything he rehearsed. There was a guy called Barry, and he would just run about causing chaos. And my 2 abiding memories of Roger Moore being an absolute gent, I promise you. He literally said to my wife, which one of my expressions would you like? 1, 2, or 3? And Blobby just doing nothing he'd rehearsed and smashing the place up, and Roger Moore sitting there with a look on his face like, this is what my career has become. Any questions?
Blobby.
How does Mr. Blobby hold cards? Can he hold cards?
No.
It didn't matter.
No, he really can't. Nothing matters. All he was there to do was go Blobby, 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 and smash things, run about. Have you ever seen it, Lilia?
No.
Oh.
I'm fascinated. I will have to Google it.
He was massive. He had like a #1 hit record. He was just a bloke in a big pink suit with spots on it.
This show is not long enough to explain who or why Mr. Blobby was.
No, okay, I won't bother trying to explain. Everybody else knows who or what.
I see him
Blobby
now. I'm
was.
looking at him on my phone.
Oh, you got a picture of him?
Oh, so Mark,
You could just Google Roger Moore on Noel's House Party and then it would be easy, but you're not going to cheat, are you?
No.
So Mark, we're talking sort of tea time TV on BBC, and you were pretending to play poker.
Oh no, it wasn't tea time. Noel's House Party. It went out it was like 6:30, 7:30. I can't remember. It was like a recreation of Casino Royale. It was just sort of fun. It wasn't like proper gambling. It was just Roger Moore as James Bond going, "I'm here to take you down," and be James Bond. And then be upstaged shamelessly by a bloke in a pink suit.
Mr. Blobby.
So did Roger Moore have a poker face?
He only had the one face.
Really is.
He literally just went, I call. I mean, he had more lines than that. He had lines like when Noel opened the door and all that kind of stuff. But during the game, it was just, I raise, I call, I fold, blobby, 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 blobby. There you go.
I
Why would there only be one
really
Mr.
want this
Blobby?
to be true.
Eh?
Why would there only be one Mr. Blobby, given that we can't see who's inside?
There was one Mr. Blobby, and I'll tell you his name was Barry Killaby. Look it up. Look it up now.
I want to go back to the Daniel Craig bit of this because
Okay.
I believe the Blobby and the Roger Moore, whatever Blobby is.
Yeah.
But I think that that's the true part, and the Daniel Craig is thrown in there to make it interesting.
Daniel Craig lived in the flat above my friend Andre in Archway. And we were, I mean, he wasn't a regular player. He'd just come down occasionally and play cards with us. I was going to say, I swear to you, but that doesn't cut any ice, does it? Like I say, he kept me waiting. I was giving the bugger a lift to Glastonbury, and he kept me waiting for about half an hour. And anybody that knows me well knows how I'd have got.
What did he look like in his pants?
In his pants?
You said he came down in his pants.
Yes, he wasn't as ripped. Back then, he was nowhere near as ripped as he was when he came out of the sea.
He's more like Mr. Blobby.
Well, no, he didn't look like Mr. Blobby, but he's just a scrawny, out-of-work actor.
Well, you can tell other things from his pants, though. I mean...
You seem absurdly obsessed by his pants, Alex. Well, not absurdly, but, you know.
Because I know men check other men out. It's just what you guys do. So I wondered what your impression of Daniel Craig's, you know...
My abiding impression is that he wasn't a very good poker player.
But his pants were very clean.
His pants were ace.
Right, Craig, do you want to come to some sort of decision?
Okay, well, my own view is that this story is very well told, but the plot is flimsy. Some may say that that's
a Mark Billingham.
Have you read my books?
My personal view is that he's over-egged this slightly, and I think he's making it up.
I've over-egged it.
Caro, what's your view?
No, I've over-egged
I
it.
think he's made it up as well. I think the Daniel Craig bit might be true, and I think there's some truth about the wife and Mr. Blobby, but apart from that, I think he might
There's
be
truth about my wife and Mr. Blobby.
Sorry, Mark, did you not know?
What are you suggesting?
It's Mrs. Blobby. I feel sorry for her.
It was a Mrs. Blobby. There was a Mrs. Blobby.
Yeah.
He's fibbing.
Yeah, Mrs. Blobby used to be on it. That is true. Radio Muckers, what do you think?
Don't know. I think I really want it to be true, because if it's not, that says something about Mark's brain. But then I suppose he could be double bluffing. So I'll go with the consensus of false.
I already said I think it's half true and half false, so I'll say false.
Okay, we unanimously say false.
Okay, so in the comments, a lot of people saying it's true, and then there's a few people who are saying it's a double bluff. He's added way too much info for it to be true. Colin Ward says, I think Mark is a good liar, but I swear Blobby part makes this real. I mean, Mark was in Maid Marian, so he has that kind of contact.
Yeah, I got Blobby on speed dial, mate.
Mick says, Mark's a stand-up comic, not bad either. This story sounds like a joke. And why would Roger Moore be doing Casino Royale? I thought that was Lazenby. Why was Mark...
hang on, I've got to stop this idiot.
David Niven.
Lazenby was on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Casino Royale, which was the first novel and a much later film, was actually a really early film, a shit film with Woody Allen and
David Niven.
David Niven as James Bond. But anyway, we digress.
And Colin Ward thinks he's found out the real truth, and that is Daniel Craig was actually Mr. Blobby. So we're going for lie. They've all gone for lie. While just in case, I've just gone and found this.
Oh,
Mr. Blobby.
There he is.
Neil Craig.
Blobby.
This was Mr. Blobby.
That is bringing back horrible memories. Okay.
For a good few years, this guy was the most famous person in the country, which says a lot about the UK. So, Mark, reveal to us, Mark, was this a truth or a lie?
Well, Alex was right in that it's a half truth, but which half was wrong and which half was a lie, she got completely wrong. The Daniel Craig bit is completely true. Roger Moore was on Noel's house party with Mr. Blobby, directed by my wife, but I wasn't there that day. So it's a lie.
I went and found the video while Mark was talking of Roger Moore on Noel's house party. It's on YouTube, so I knew quite early on that there was no
poker game. There was
no poker game.
But I have seen Daniel Craig in his pants, Alex.
That's the important part.
That is a point for Mark.
No, it's not.
No.
Sorry.
Oh, I got your picture. TV Luke, I would never have made that mistake.
No, TV Luca would never do something like that. Look at that. Look at the smile on his face. Look at his little face. Fuck off. Right, next up, Stuart. Give us your statement.
Hang on.
We're not from the other team.
It's our team. What is going on? TV Luca would. This is damn on.
Yeah, I could have mixed it up. You're all going to get a chance, you know, Abir. I was just trying to mix it up.
Yeah.
You're confusing everybody now.
Okay.
All right, well, then we'll go back and forth like just.
No. You do what you want.
No, carry on. You go. You show your
Come on,
favourite.
It's fine.
Stuart.
You know,
Go on, Stuart.
I knew there was going to be an uprising. I knew it. I knew I was. When it started. No, let's go with Alex. Let's
Stick with this for the whole night now.
Right.
Separate screen.
Well, now you all know that Craig and I are married, or some equivalent. Actually, we got
What do you
married.
mean some equivalent? Is there something I've missed?
Wants to marry Daniel.
We actually got married 3 times. I in 4 days. I wish you all could have been there for all of them. We had technical difficulties. But my friends really pulled out the last one. Our wedding was produced by the producer of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. Production designed by the production designer of Shameless. And Sonnet 116 was directed by the director, founding member of the RSC. That's the Reduced Shakespeare Company. And it was lovely.
Right. So was Craig and Alex's wedding the most produced wedding of the century, or is Alex telling a lie? Mark, you want to kick off?
Well, I'm perfectly willing to believe all those details about directors and whatever. It's just the basic concept of marrying Craig being lovely that I have an issue with. Were these just because of personal contacts you had? You knew these people?
Very well, yes.
Okay. Is the Reduced Shakespeare Company an American company?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I had some idea they were British. I'm getting them confused with who's the British company that do like quick Shakespeare in.
That's them. Oh, sorry, it's not my story.
Yeah,
was that them?
They come over here to yes, and they did it on in the West End forever.
Okay.
But they have also licensed companies all over the world.
Okay. What's that guy's name? What's the name? The director.
Just Winfield.
Okay.
What were you two wearing?
I really had a princess dress, given how hot it was. It was not white, it was beige and gold beading. And of course, Craig was in a kilt.
Mm.
Do you not believe we were married?
You're as bad as the Home Office.
I have seen a photograph.
And we're going through that again. God. Yeah.
I have seen a photograph of the dress and the skirt.
Me too.
Maybe
In a
wearing-
produced photograph of them, getting married. So I wonder, yeah.
But I wonder, is that just lend it a bit too much credibility? I'm wondering, are we being?
I mean, it only needs one little element to be false for the
can't
whole
believe
thing
it.
to be a lie, right?
True.
Of course, they did get married. We know that, but
But 3 times.
Three times.
yeah. Okay.
Joe, what do you think?
I think
Yeah.
it's true.
You think it's true, Lilia?
Mm.
Has
Yeah.
Joe frozen? I think she might have done.
Yeah.
No, Joe's there. Joe.
No, but I did freeze for most of it, so this is going to be a 50-50 toss.
You've got the same chance as the rest of them then.
I'm going to go with true because I heard the story and I think Alexandra's well connected. So,
Stuart.
I think it's just plausible enough to be true, which makes me think it's a lie.
Oh, now I've got 2 trues and 2 lies.
So in the comments, people are quite 50-50 as well. And Callie Taylor wants to point out that The Bachelor is cheesy as hell. There's no way. And she thinks Alex knows lots of TV and film people, but would never let someone who works in The Bachelor produce their wedding. I don't know if that's
that's true. That's true. I'm tempted to go lie, but then we're split 2-2.
You have to.
call it.
It's a lie.
We're
It's a
going
big
for
fat
a
lie.
Alex, reveal the truth. Is it a truth or a lie?
It is absolutely true, every word of it.
We're getting spanked here, team. We're way too suspicious, and oh dear. Come on, long way to go. There's a lot. Jesus
Alex,
Christ!
I mean,
2029. We've only had 3 stories.
What's the Alex? Just a quick one. I mean, what did they actually do? For example, what did the guy from the producer do?
Oh, well, some of these details I don't want to say because he particularly would not want me to be telling all of these details, but as a producer does, supply the stage of it, figure out the seating and the arrangement of things.
They might have borrowed some stuff from the production company, and maybe we shouldn't say too much.
Okay. How do you direct a
That might be a lie.
A lot of production companies.
A lot of roughs were there at the wedding.
And, providing some crew, maybe. But that could be a lie. That could be a lie. I didn't say that up front. But yeah.
One last question from the audience, Alex. One last question from the audience. Paul wants to know, were Craig's underpants as good as Daniel Craig's, or did he not wear any under the kilt?
Well, anyone who knows Scottish men know the answer to that question, right?
Moving
swiftly on.
Just flapping in the breeze.
No
Stuart, come on, Stuart. We need a point. Come on.
Can I just say nothing was flapping?
At least 2 people.
Hi, Stuart.
At least 2 people here will know the veracity or otherwise of this one. I was once roughly manhandled by David Williams outside an Edinburgh toilet.
So, Craig, David Williams roughly manhandled Stuart outside a toilet.
I completely understand why David Williams wouldn't be able to keep his hands off Stuart. Stuart, what was the circumstances of this rough manhandling?
In short, I was between him and the toilet. And he needed to remove me from his path.
And how rough with you was he?
Sorry?
How rough with you was he?
He grabbed me from behind and by the shoulders and basically physically did that with me. And I'm not a small man.
You're not. Did he buy you breakfast in the morning?
No, he did not. He did not. And,
where was the toilet, Stuart?
Sorry?
Where was the toilet, Stuart?
The toilet was at the author's enclosure at the Edinburgh Book Festival.
The yurt. Was it the yurt?
Yeah, you know the toilets by the yurt.
Yeah, are they not in a porta cabin?
Yeah.
Yeah. So where were you? Were you waiting to go into a cubicle or do that?
No, this is outside the porta cabin. I was standing on a path.
Was it a queue?
No, I was just in his way.
Well, supplementary question: why were you loitering in front of the toilets when people wanted to go in?
I was just seeing who could see later. I was going, there's Matt Haig, he needs a shit. I was going, answer, not really, that's not true. That's not true. That's definitely a lie.
But the rest is true.
But you know, I was just hanging about.
What book were you promoting?
Oh God, it's a couple of years ago now. What do you want in the Heel and Backs? Trying to remember which one would come out then.
And what did you say to him?
I didn't get a chance to say anything. I was kind of dumbfounded. I was actually gesturing what was happening. There were other friends of mine were there, and I just spotted David Williams. I think he was the most famous person I'd seen so far. And I was going to, and while I was gesturing behind me that David Williams was behind me, David Williams was actually as behind me as he could get, and manhandled me aside.
How much taller than you was, or shorter than you was David Williams?
Oh, he had a good couple of inches on me.
No, but how much taller than you was he?
Luca, grow up.
Oh dear.
How tall are you, Stuart?
I'm like a hair under 6 foot.
All right.
That's pretty tall.
Yeah.
I'd say he'd be about 6'2", 6'3", something like that.
Who were your friends that you told about it? That you were hanging with?
Well, Auntie Val was there.
Conveniently, she's not here at the moment, I think.
And my wife was there. I think Mark, your wife, I think Claire was there as well, possibly.
With Mr. Blobby.
Aye.
Well, my thinking here is that when you led off by saying a couple of people here will know the veracity of this or otherwise, you're more likely to have said that if it was true and Mark and Luca were in the vicinity and knew it to be true. So for that reason, I think it's true.
I'd just like to point out I didn't see a couple of inches at any point in my life with Stuart.
Craig, do you think he might have said that so that we would think it was true? Like he's a double bluffing type.
It's entirely possible because he is devious. So yeah.
Yeah, he is devious, isn't he?
He's a professional liar. We know this.
Yeah.
I think that the story, the outline of the story is true. He was probably watching people coming in and out the toilets.
Oh, I believe that for sure.
Yes. Yeah, no. That bit I'm getting noticed. Stuart, we know would probably do that. It's just the person who's picked him up and manhandled him was that David Williams.
It could have been
Matt Haig.
Yeah, it could have been Matt Haig.
I don't think Matt Haig could lift me.
Okay, while you're coming to a decision then, Craig, I'm going to go to the comments. A lot of people just talking about a couple of inches. Carly Taylor pointing out that Williams is tall. I'm 6 foot and he's way taller than me. Emma Nicholas says he keeps moving about. It must be a lie. But John Dixon then replies saying that he may just have an itchy bum. Someone points out that these are supposed to be lies, not fantasies. And Colin Ward says, I think this is scary enough to be true. My dad says it's true. Craig.
Wait, one more thing. Who is this guy we're talking about?
Oh, for goodness.
Neville. Stuart Neville we're talking about.
All right, Abir, what do you think?
I'm going to go for true.
Caro?
False.
This is what?
If I knew who we were talking about, I'd say it's true.
I also think it's true. So Caro's going to kill me if we're wrong, but we are saying true.
A lot of people agreeing in the comments that it's true. Stuart, reveal, is it true or false?
God's true.
True.
I was there.
Yeah, so was I.
Lucky guess.
Stuart,
It was outrageous.
It was the most ridiculous thing that's ever happened. Stuart,
Tell us.
explain what happened in the moment that he left our vicinity and went into the toilet, and we all exploded in laughter. What did we notice straight away though in the porter cabin?
Yeah, the window was open, so you would have heard us.
Then came out.
I don't think it really matters that he heard you. I think he deserved that.
Well, he deserved it, yeah.
He then came out and stood awkwardly at the table after Stuart apologised again. And then he stood there for a few moments and he said hello to Mark, he said hello to Val, stood there, and we were all just staring at him. Like, we all know what you've just done type of thing. And then he just walked off. Very strange. So unfortunately, that's a point again to Craig's team.
I think you should stop the whole points thing because we just haven't got it. We're not going to get any.
Not going well.
No.
You can.
Come on.
I believe in you. I've seen better comebacks just this week.
Okay, that's true. Right.
Caro, it's your turn.
Come on, Caro.
Oh, right. So I was in Luther Vandross's bedroom. I was on his bed and he was totally naked. And I was kind of a bit stunned about what to say. So I said, you know, my first, my last, my everything is one of my favourite all-time songs. And he turned around and he looked at me and he went, that was Barry White. Anyway.
Okay.
Back in the room.
Caro was in a bedroom with a naked Luther Vandross and mentioned Barry White's song. Let's start with Joe.
We just played our Joker.
There's a lot to unpack here. How did you end up in Luther Vandross's bedroom?
Yeah.
Right. So he was at a hotel on the west side of Glasgow, out at Mar Hall. Craig will know it's a posh place. That place he goes. He was doing a concert at the Hydro in Glasgow. It was a few years ago, and the big part of the story was that he was in the shower and he put his back out. So Mar Hall phoned somebody on the reception of Mar Hall, phoned the practice and said, can anybody come out and look at him? So I went up and the PR person took me up to his bedroom and opened the door and said, there you go. And I went in, but he literally had got out the shower and then just sort of got as far as the bed and pulled the sort of top sheet over him. But so when I sat on the bed to examine him, I didn't realise he was totally naked underneath. So that was the problem.
So he was in one room, Harvey Weinstein was in the other room.
So, Caro, maybe not everybody knows that you're not as well as being.
Oh, yeah, I've got a big therapy practice. Sorry, did you think I was a prostitute? No, no. I've got a big therapy practice up in Paisley, so it is one of the go-to places when the rich and famous injure themselves. So that's why.
In Paisley.
Lilia, have you got questions?
Yes, can you tell us what was wrong with him? Why did he need an examination?
He had just been over in the shower and just put his back out.
Oh.
You grow up, Stuart.
David Williams behind him.
Let's just be careful.
Mark, what have you got questions? I'm sure you have.
You really thought You're My First, You're My Last, You're My Everything was written by Luther Vandross?
No, I didn't. But I was sort of, I don't know. I was just, you just get confused sometimes when a situation's not going the way you think it is. And he is quite a big chunky guy, and he's got that kind of voice. And it was just the song that came into my head, and it wasn't him.
It's quite unprofessional to be making this kind of chit chat while you're supposed to be examining somebody, Caro.
No, it's not. It's very professional. That's the that shit I do all the time. Yeah, it relaxes them. Yeah. And there's also very little you can say to someone's that famous. So you can't say, like, what did you think of the game on Wednesday or something like that? What did you have for your breakfast or what you doing for Christmas? So you've got to, get it on a different level.
So what did you actually do for him in terms of treatment?
I just did some soft tissue, did some massage. You can't actually manipulate on a bed because it's too soft and it can be quite dangerous. So I did that and put some tape on him. That was in the days before K-tape. Yeah, so he was performing that night and he was fine. I'm glad to say.
Right. So in the comments, Carly wants to know, did he get out the shower, into bed, rang his PR, and they rang her, and he still didn't put pants on?
He could hardly move, the poor guy. I don't know if any of you have ever put your back out, but putting pants on is quite a complicated thing when you've got a sore back.
There's quite a few people saying lie. My sister thinks it's a lie. Yeah, quite a few people saying that. But one person is quite adamant that this is true. Carly thinks the naked bit is a lie. but did you name the wrong song? So it could be partly true, partly false. Mark, do you want to start coming to a decision? What do you think?
I'm going to go last because I've been wrong every time. I'm tempted to think it's a lie, but it has a ring of truth. I just don't know. Help me, Stuart, Lilia, Joe.
Yeah, I think actually it sounds very true to me, because I mean he was dressed underneath the blanket. He was dressed as Craig in his wedding, you know, and so
But he wasn't Scottish, Lillian.
yeah, exactly, and that's why you got confused with the song and everything. Quoted the wrong song, you know, because you were surprised. I think it's true.
Joe,
I-
what do you think?
I've not proved myself very good at this game so far, but I suspect you're maybe conflating two different stories.
Yeah, there is that thing.
I think you did say that to Luther Vandross, but he wasn't in the nip. But you did get
Think
called
so.
to a celebrity's hotel room to sort their back out. But it's a different celebrity. I think that's what the...
Joe, what do you reckon?
I think it's half and half, because I'm just thinking it's really renowned treatment practice, and they're treating celebrities. She's probably not telling us the whole truth. She probably has worse stories actually that she can't tell us.
And also Luther Vandross is dead, so I can say anything. So
Is he dead?
I was going to say that's why I chose that story, but
Well, in that case, we have other questions.
I'm going with
What hotel was it?
Mar Hall.
Oh, I don't know.
So you think it's a lie, Joe, and you think it's a lie, Stuart?
Yeah, I think it's two stories stitched together.
What do you think then, Mark? You've got to make a call here.
We've got to get one right eventually. It's a lie!
Caro, what is the truth here? Is it a true or a lie? They're off the mark. Is they right, Caro? Was it two stories stitched together?
No, the truth is that his PR phoned and we were too busy, so we just went no, and we don't want to do music anyway.
No, sorry.
Did you say to him, "You're not my first, you're my last"?
You're nothing. Oh, well, okay. Well done.
Now we'll never know the answers to the questions that we were going to ask when this is all over. So next up, we have Joe. Joe Spain, give us your statement.
Come on, Joe.
I was a disco dancer in a Cillian Murphy movie. Cillian Murphy from Peaky Blinders.
A disco dancer in a Cillian Murphy movie.
Okay.
Craig, do you want to kick us off here?
I'll start with the obvious question. Which Cillian Murphy movie was it?
Disco Pigs.
You would think, wouldn't you, the Disco Pigs would have disco dancers in it. Why did you get chosen? Were you a disco dancing champion?
I was a trained dancer, not a champion.
Okay.
And we were basically all just paid extras.
Right, hang on. Alex knows technical dancey stuff, so she can quiz you.
We want to see the moves.
I'd like to know what other credits you have as a dancer.
None, absolutely none. It was just that film.
And then how was it, an open audition, or you had a friend, or how did you get that gig?
It was a favor to a friend.
Joe, can you show us the moves?
No.
Joe, see when it was being filmed, how was it filmed? What was the sort of noise that was going on while you were on the dance floor throwing your shapes?
It's not that kind of a film, Caro.
Well, we already know what Carol does in her spare time. It was the music that was on was if anyone's ever been on a film set, when you're dancing, they play you 20 seconds of music and then they cut the music, so you just have to kind of dance invisibly. And they played us the Prodigy's Firestarter. And then
So you were just getting that rhythm, and yeah, okay.
No one can dance to that. And also, hang on, somebody knows better than me. That's not disco.
I didn't say it was disco
I
dancing.
know you didn't. I'm trying to catch you out here. That's all.
What other kinds of dance have you done? I mean, how were you trained? What dance do you do?
Just popular dance. It was just popular modern dance. This is Dublin.
You're trained, but it's just popular dance? You mean they have classes in popular, just
Modern dance.
that's what they call it, popular dance?
Right, Abir, what's your take?
My verdict. I'm going to say
Or
four.
question.
She wouldn't do the moves. I asked her if she'd do the moves, and she wouldn't show us any
You
of them.
have dance moves, you guys, when you come up and dance with us.
Yeah, come on.
I'm shutting
Throw down some moves.
right now.
So what was the plot of the film, and why were you having to dance?
It's Cillian Murphy and Elaine Cassidy are the stars. So they grow up, their kids living in houses near each other, and they fall in love. And this is a teenage scene. It's a scene in their teenage years, and they're dancing in this disco together. And we were on the background. We all had to wear really dark colors because they were in light colors. So anyhow, they're dancing, they fall in love. But I think it's either him or her. I think it's her sent off to some kind of school to settle her down because she's a bit mental, and he starts to go crazy. It's a mental.
You just watched a Bollywood film and you're making it up, aren't you? My mum watches that every night. That's just. Sorry, carry on. Keep going, Joe.
Caro, what do you think?
I think it could be true. There's just enough detail in there, but she's not over egging it. So I think it could be true.
Did you dance with Cillian Murphy himself?
No, but he might have made a pass at me.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Did Cillian Murphy make a pass at you?
Might have.
It's not supposed to answer the questions, Luca. Come on, I want an answer to this.
No, Cillian Murphy did not make a pass at me.
Right, okay, so there's lying going on there. We know that. But what have you got? You're upside down. You're saying false.
That last question. Well, to our last answer about Cillian Murphy, that was my response to her
All
response.
right, let's make some judgment calls.
A lot of the people saying true. A lot of people question the veracity, though, of the claim that Firestarter was the song that was used to kind of kick off the dancing.
Oh no, I believe that if the rest of it's true.
All right. Well, Craig, Caro team, what are you going for?
I don't know Joe at all. Never heard of Disco Pigs. Never heard of.
What do you think, TV Luca? TV Luca says true.
Right, true or false?
I think false.
Caro?
I think it might be true.
I'm going with true.
That's true, true, false. I can't remember what anybody said, but I also think it's true. How many is that? Did somebody?
Three.
That's true.
All right, so we say true.
Okay, Joe, do you want to tell us then, is it true or is it a lie?
There is a part of it that's a lie, but overall it is true.
Yay.
Hang on, if part of it's a lie, it's a lie.
What was the lie is he did make a pass at you.
I'm trained in dancing. Was a dancer in that movie, and Firestarter was the music.
I think that counts.
All right, cool.
True. So that's a point for Team A. So I mean, like this is the only film credit you have, though.
Yes. Well, credits for writing film.
How many do you think she should have?
Well, I'm just thinking if you're in a Cillian Murphy film, surely that would lead to something else.
No, I think he
It's
was
not really a speaking part though, Luca.
But that's how you build up.
Yeah, well, that's how you started in Brookside, and it didn't really go anywhere, did it?
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, like, you know, that was the peak. That's for my level of ability, that was always going to be the peak. But no, I mean, it was so the bit about it being a favour for a mate and all that type of thing. Is the mate gone on to do any other stuff as well then?
No, she worked for Equity. It's the Dublin firm that provides all the extras for filming.
Yeah, but you didn't sound like a professional.
Well, it's 5-1 now.
I'm not a professional.
That'll be why, yeah. That'll be why.
I was like, oh, this dancing.
All right, who's
So I
Right.
right about the quarter that was.
Okay, on to Team A, Abir.
Right. On a cultural exchange, in order to avoid giving offence, I once had to eat the faces of Val McDermid and Booker Prize nominated Graham McRae Burnett.
Okay. Mark,
Where were you? Where was this cultural exchange happening?
It was in India, and Graham and Val and me were there, and we were honoured in the traditional Indian way by having our faces drawn on a cake. And so to avoid giving offence, I had to eat their respective faces.
What kind of cake was it?
Chocolate, I think. Graham and Val's recollection of the cake may differ, but I thought it was chocolate.
Okay.
Which face was better?
Mine, obviously.
You
But I didn't get.
face. You ate your
Sorry?
own face.
No, I had to eat theirs as well. Yeah, when it's faces, you just end up, an ear of somebody, a nose of, Val or Graham's chin.
So there were 3 distinct types of cake.
No, the faces were on the one cake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's one cake with your face, Val's, and Graham McCrae.
Yeah.
Why did you have to eat a bit of the face?
That's what was on the cake. They didn't have the whole bodies; they just had faces. Well, they had bodies, but you ended up. It was just the physics of the cake meant that we all ended up eating at least part of each other's faces.
The physics of the cake.
Well, how it was cut.
What are you talking about?
It was a Salvador Dali cake.
Single layer cake. I mean, it wasn't tiered like a wedding cake.
Oh yeah, no, it was. It was single layered, but it had cream in the middle, like 2 layers of sponge,
and then 3 big faces on it.
Well, as part of like whatever else was on there.
How big is this cake?
It was quite big. I've got photos I can show you.
Could you do that? That would help.
There you go. Here's one I made earlier.
I got nothing. What?
What was the
might
event
be my
itself?
favorite line of all time.
Sorry,
So
Stuart.
what was the event? What was the event itself where the cake was served? Was it like a dinner? Or was it like an outdoor garden party?
It was at the hotel. It was the dinner at the hotel, and it was the Calcutta Literary Festival or Literature Festival, and we were there as part of a sort of goodwill thing between Scotland and India, because they're very similar countries.
So did Indian people have to come and eat haggis?
Yes, but that was in Edinburgh, not in Calcutta. I was there because they had like famous people and me, because I'm both. And they thought, the Scottish people thought, who can we invite? Who can be the bridge? It's quite funny. I turned up about 3 hours late, and Graham McCrae Burnett had already been conned out of 2,000 rupees. It was a fun trip.
Joe, have you got any questions?
Is this a thing that they do in India, or was it specifically for you guys?
I'm surprised, Joe. I mean, anybody with any knowledge of Indian culture and tradition would know that for centuries people have been putting faces on cream and chocolate cakes.
I have been on a British Council cultural exchange trip to India with Denise Minor. Nobody put our fucking pictures on a cake.
Is that my fault?
No, it's not your fault, but I'm just saying it wasn't a thing. It's not a thing I remember.
Were you on the Booker Prize shortlist? Like
No, I wasn't. There wasn't a lot of cake, to be honest.
You might have been on a fairy cake, Mark. You don't know. A wee one.
I don't know. That's all I've got to go on. That's all I've got, basing the fact that I think it's false.
All right, while you're considering what you might think it is, in the comments, a lot of people saying it's true. I can't find anyone who's saying it's not.
Oh, God.
Except for one person, Callie Taylor says, I think it's true, but he's trying to make it sound like a lie.
Yeah. Apart from one person, Val McDermott, who says it's a lie. Stuart, Joe.
I think it's a lie.
Really? You think it's a lie?
Yeah, I think this trip probably happened and he's just made up the cake.
Oh, I'm sure the trip happened. But Lilia?
I think it's true.
You think everything's true. You're so
I
He's Icelandic. They're much more trusting.
They are a trusting people. Stuart?
Cake. Or did gaming reference the cake is a lie?
Yeah, you think lie.
I think elements of it are true, but I think the specifics of the cake, I think it's all just believable enough. It's all just kind of banal enough.
Banal, that's the best story I've ever come up with. Banal.
So you think it's true? You think it's true, Stuart?
I think it's false. I think it's a very skillfully crafted fiction.
Yeah.
Banal fiction.
Yeah, he's
You
over.
can use it as a cover blurb if you want. A skillfully crafted fiction.
All right.
I like that.
All right. Well, Joe thinks it's false. Stuart thinks it's false. I'm gonna go with Stuart and Joe. It's lies.
Abir, reveal the truth. Is it a truth or a lie?
Every word of it.
Oh no!
And now I'm going to find the photo. Right?
Yeah, we want to see the cake.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to find the cake. The cake's
Lilia, we're sorry. We're sorry. We're suspicious and horrible, and you're right.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you British people are very cynical.
It's racism, Leila. It's racism, is what it is. Just call it what it is. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So at the end of the first, no.
Does anybody know how you get your own photos up on Facebook these days? Because I can't.
We still need Lilia's story.
Yeah, so we got Lilia left. We got
Go on,
one
Lilia.
left. Lilia.
Okay, here is my statement. My first job as a 10-year-old was training roosters for cockfights.
Yeah. What are you going to do about that?
Am I supposed to go first?
Yes.
What experience did you have that you were given this task?
No experience. I had to start as a trainee and learn how to train them, and then I was, hired.
Are they difficult to train?
Yes, especially for the running, because if you have tried to run with a chicken on a leash,
Not recently,
they stop when you go to their side.
Right.
So you have to be behind them to get them to run.
Like you're chasing them.
Sorry?
As if you were chasing them.
Yes, they have to feel you're chasing them. Yeah.
Okay. Do you make them run upstairs like Rocky?
No, on a beach. I mean, this was in Mexico when I was a child.
Mexico, right. That puts a completely different slant on it.
Yeah,
okay.
I was gonna say.
Let's have some Mexican.
Yeah, it was still legal then there, and it was. It's quite hard to train chickens. They have to have strong wings, so you put them on a laundry line, and have them balance there.
Wait a minute, what, like tightrope walkers?
Yes, exactly. So then they train their wings, when they're trying to keep balance. And then you take them and you throw them up in the air so that they, get agility and strength. And it's a lot of different exercises, you have to.
It's the krypton factor for roosters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, to refresh them, you have to spray them.
Refresh them.
Marijuana infused rum, especially before tournament.
Rum.
Yeah, rum.
And then they want to fight.
Yes.
Rum.
Wouldn't you?
In Mexico. All right.
Why?
Okay. I love you, Lilia, but
I love
this, not a word of it. So you were 10 years old. Did you ever see a cockfight?
Yes. My parents were kind of hippies, so they, just had their kids mostly in a backpack and traveled the world, and we lived in a lot of different places.
That's not my question. I want to get back to the cockfight.
Okay.
You were 10 years old and you saw a cockfight.
Yes.
And it didn't traumatize you in any way?
No, I guess if I would watch it now, I wouldn't like it. But then I was really invested in it because of my this before and after school job, So I was very excited for our team, for my cocks, or the cocks of this man Pepe, who I worked for, and and so yeah, I liked it.
Oh,
Caro, save us.
You know, I'm going to make it worse. I have written down here, were you ever emotionally invested in your cock?
Yeah, I will have to say that this is probably the only cocks I have ever been emotionally invested in.
And see, at the start of the selection process, Lilia, you had lots of chicks, and were you given the ones to train, or did you pick those that you thought would be good?
No, it was like there was like a thoroughbred, nice birds that the owner picked very carefully, and
Right.
then it was all about, you know, getting them in the best shape and trying to make them brave, so they were not easily afraid of anything.
Right. And was there a lot of money involved in the fighting?
Yes.
A lot of gambling.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And there was some heat in the air also, and it many times, I mean, the tournaments or the cockfighting itself sometimes ended up with fist fights and even gunfights. You know, it was like crazy. Mm.
Right. So in the
That might be the
comments,
best thing I've ever heard.
I mean, that's the view in the comments. This sounds unbelievable. I mean, this is a lie. We bloody need to start this training school. It's as if the creators of Sesame Street took LSD. That sounds mad enough to be true. A lot of love for the krypton factor for roosters. Hippies aren't fans of animal cruelty. Just saying. Someone's just snorted orange juice out of their nose. So
at least it came out their nose. I mean, we haven't heard much from you in this, so let's...
No. I was just thinking, she was 10 years old. Her parents took her from Iceland to work in Mexico as a hippie cockfighter trainer.
What's your problem with that?
I don't know. I have nothing to say to that.
My feeling is that most of it is true, that she did go from Iceland to Mexico. She did see a cockfight. I don't believe that she trained them, mainly because getting them fit is only half the battle. You need to make them fight. I didn't hear any of that. So for me,
false.
I'm going to say false.
what about the rest of your team?
I already said false,
Yeah.
but great story.
They're all saying it's a lie. Lilia.
But can I also say I will not be remotely surprised if it's true.
Absolutely true.
True!
Yes.
Oh, no way.
We are not worthy, Lilia. That is magnificent.
Yeah, this is the root of all my love for chickens. I have my garden full of chickens.
Yeah.
Not roosters though, because they fight. You know, trouble.
Do you still hang them on the washing line to keep them fit?
No, but I do train them to do different stuff. Yes. They're
You can get them to write one of my books. That would help.
Any of them could write one of your books.
Oh, I found my cake.
Okay, let's see it.
Let's see the cake. Oh, look.
Oh, you can see
What?
that.
It's a big cake.
That's a cake.
That's
Is
a
that
cake.
Jenny that's on there as well, is
That's a
it?
cake.
Okay.
It looks
Oh, I
good.
see. There you go.
Yeah.
I see what you meant about the physics of the cake.
Yes.
Luca, can I just point something out? That first round has taken an hour and 20 minutes.
It has.
So
I have,
we're either going to be here all night, or
Yeah.
we need to be quicker, or
Yes.
maybe just do 2 stories.
So basically, this is how we're going to do it from now on, because we're going to hurry it along now. I have now brought out the Brookside mug of gloriousness. I'm going to pick a name from each team, and we'll just go until I say we've gone too long. So I'm just going to pick a
We might
random.
already have hit that point.
Ask the audience, do they want us to continue or not?
They're all having the best time ever by the looks of the comments.
Well, why don't you see where we are when we've done one more story each? See what the time is then.
Yeah.
See how...
Right, so I'm going to pick a name from Team A, and it is Alex.
Oh.
Alex, tell us your statement.
Okay. Well, I have a dancing story. I have a lot of dancing stories, actually. And most people know the one that I tell in Scotland all the time because I have danced with Patrick Swayze, and that always makes people swoon. I've danced with other people that I'm really proud of, but you wouldn't get it as much, most of it, because it was about the dancing, but you will get this one. I've danced with Mick Jagger.
Ooh.
Alex has danced with Mick Jagger. That's the statement. Mark, kick us off.
Where?
It was at an A&M Records party in Hollywood.
Were you touching each other, or was it like freestyly? It wasn't 3 times a lady or anything like that. It was
No.
okay.
Oh, no.
You were just on the floor.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I mean, he's a dancer. It was more than that, but it wasn't touching dancing.
Okay, what was the song?
It was Star by Earth, Wind and Fire, because the other person who was on the floor, well, one of the other people was Eddie Del Barrio, who wrote that song, the Earth, Wind and Fire song.
I really want Luther Vandross to be there.
I was trying to see how I could work him in, but he was not there.
I can't not ask this. Do you have moves like Jagger?
He's an incredible dancer. He is, but it was completely perfect for the song, was what was so amazing about it. He wasn't putting anything on. It was just a slow funk, and he's elegant, really.
Before Alex goes into another place there, it was very like at the end of that sentence there, it was like, he's elegant and Craig bristled. Joe, what do you think?
I'm so lost here because it sounds so true. I'm convinced she's lying. but I can't think of a single question to catch her out on this lie because she is an expert at dance. What kind of dance were you doing?
What kind of dance were we doing? It was funk. It was freestyle dancing, not like your freestyle dancing.
Trained dancing.
Yeah, right. I am a trained dancer, but it wasn't trained dancing. It was just, he came out on the floor and suddenly it was Mick Jagger dancing with us. It was amazing.
Was he dancing with you or a big group of people?
It was 4 of us.
You, him, Mr. Blobby, and
Vandross.
How tall was he? Was he a tall fella? Was he sort of medium? Was he quite short?
A little taller than I am.
How tall are you?
5'7".
Okay. Oh,
that is starting to make me think lie, because I remember when we were at BoucherCon in Cleveland, going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and seeing Mick Jagger's stage outfits, and they're like a child's. I mean, he's tiny. I mean, he's very, very.
He's skinny.
I'm leaning towards false.
Everything's smaller in Cleveland.
That's true. Joe, Stuart, Lilia. I know you believe it, Lilia, obviously.
Yeah, I believe it. Alexandra likes to dance,
Oh, I know. I'm not debating that.
Yeah.
Not debating that for a minute.
I'm just wondering how many drinks she had. I mean, if it was Jagger or, maybe someone who looked like Jagger.
Joe.
A&M Records.
You were going false. Stuart?
I'm going to say false because I remember his stage outfit and he used to.
Little tiny man. Well, yet again, Lilia, it's the hopeful, lovely, positive Icelandic person versus the 3 cynical fuckers. Big fat lie.
So in fairness, my record hasn't been good on this so far.
No, not me. That's the call.
Alex, is it true or is it false? They've said it's a lie. Is it a lie?
It was a half truth, but he's.
That's a lie.
That
It's a lie.
He is taller, a little taller than I am, but we were not dancing at the A&M party.
What were you doing?
Oh, I was dancing with everyone else.
Okay.
In the comments, a lot of people were saying it was a lie. A lot of people saying it's a lie. A lot of people concentrating on his height. Someone says he's 5'10". I always thought Mick Jagger was a little fella. I thought
You can't all be right.
He's not 5'10", but
No.
he's a little taller than I am. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Right, okay. The Brookside Cup comes out again. We have got Mark.
So I was instructed by a Hollywood legend
True.
to leave a BBC radio studio because he thought I was trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I should just tell you the story, shouldn't I? So this is about 2007, and I was at that place, which I think is now called Wogan House. I don't remember what it was called then, where you go to do radio interviews.
Yeah.
And there's a little waiting area, you know, with like a coffee machine, and I'm sat there and you go, oh, I wonder who's here in the studio today. And I looked across, and sitting 2 feet opposite me is Mickey Rooney, and I sit there going, that's Mickey fucking Rooney. And he sat there with his wife, and he was old. He was very old. He must have been 80 odd, and he was very sort of childlike. He was kind of going. His wife was called Jan.
No, Colleen. His wife's name's Colleen.
Okay, fine. His wife, I believe, is maybe his 8th wife. Anyway, he would go. I haven't got a tie, Jan. I need a tie. I will get you a tie, Mickey. I need some water, Jan. And she was kind of, and then she started talking to me. She was getting chatty, and she said, "Why are you here?" And I said, "I'm talking about my book." And she said, "What's your book called?" Because she'd be really funny. "What's your book called? Because we'll buy a copy." And I said, "It's called Death Message." And Mickey Rooney went mental. He was just going, death message. Oh, Jan. Oh, God. Oh, no. Death message. Please tell him to leave. Tell him to go. I can't. Oh, no. Jan, I'm going. Jan, please tell him to leave. And I was like, it's fine. It's fine. And I literally had to go and stand around the fucking corner because he was freaking out that much that my book had the word death in the title.
Oh.
So you changed your title. Did you change your title to text message?
Good done. There you go.
Caro, what do you think of this?
How old was Mickey Rooney's wife?
She was younger than him, but she was not. I mean, she was in her 60s, something like that.
Okay.
Did Mickey Rooney have any sort of normal chit chat with his wife and with you?
No, he wasn't really talking to me. He was just asking her to do things for him in a kind of weird, childlike way. And she was quite friendly until he heard the word death, and then he frock out and demanded that I left.
Well, that might be understandable.
Yeah. I believe this to be true. I'm just going to say that right here, right now. I believe this to be true.
Do you think he's regretting the move to Derby? Because they got hammered at the weekend there, didn't they, during the week? 3-0.
All right, let's move along. Caro, what do you think? True or false?
Well, unfortunately, I started off thinking of Mickey O'Rourke, and then I realised he was talking about
Mickey Rooney.
Mickey Rooney, who's obviously
It's Luther Vandross all over again. Isn't
yeah,
it?
he's very old. I'm verging on the side of truth, but I think it could be an exaggeration of a much more minor incident, because Mickey Rooney, very old, was on the telly and he was very lucid and chatting away and quite nice. So it might have just been that Mark freaked him out. So it could be true, because Mark's freaked me out before. So I'm saying, yes, it's true, because Mark is scary.
Scary Mark.
Sorry, Mark.
I'm going to go along with the scary Mark hypothesis, because I can see that. I mean, look at him. That's not normal.
What do you think? True or false?
Oh God, I never believe anything Mark says, but it's probably true.
All right, we unanimously say true.
Okay, Mark.
Absolutely true. Every fucking word. But there is a really weird and tragic coda to this story, because later on, I mean, 10 years after this, when he was 90 something and they'd split up, he accused her of senior assault. And that for years, apparently, there was like a big case that she'd been abusing him and stealing from him and robbing him of the ability to make adult decisions, and it was all really quite nasty. They did split up, but he really didn't like hearing the word death spoken out loud.
We go back to the Brookside Cup. It's now, by the way, 7-3 to.
Oh, yeah.
The next one out is Caro.
Right, so I used to do a lot of hill walking, and I was once up the Ben el Magoon, which is the highest peak of the High Atlas in Morocco, and I had a blind South African physiotherapist tied to my back. We got totally lost, and the Royal Marines had to come out and rescue us.
How did they rescue you? By like helicopter or something?
No, we were on a ledge, and they came back along the ledge with some sort of canvas things that are like big dog ropes, and you hold on to them, and they pulled us back along the ledge. It was just, we just freaked out because we were so high up.
How did you get hold of them?
How did you get hold of who?
How did you contact the emergency services?
Oh, because we hadn't turned up. We were supposed to be. It was an organised trip. It was a walk, and all the well-sighted people had a blind person attached onto them, and there were a few Royal Marines just hanging about if we got caught. So they came out to get us.
Right, let's go to Joe. What do you think about this?
I already think this is true, because when you asked her, Mark, how they rescued her, she said they had these weird dog rope things, and I'm like, if she was faking this, she'd have looked up that detail.
Joe, if you ever read my books, you would know I never look up detail.
Lilia,
ring of truth, Lilia, this time.
Yeah, I mean, this happens. I mean, every other week in Iceland, the tourist gets caught on a ledge somewhere, but they usually don't.
Blind South Africans tied to them. I don't think so.
Sorry? Yeah.
I have a blind South African physiotherapist tied to me at the time.
What was the South African's name?
Whose side are you on?
I'm interested. I'm interested. Right, forget it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know the name. Forget it. Mark, ask what the name was.
She's had time to think now. The moment's gone.
Stuart, what do you think of this?
It's all very plausible, isn't it?
Are you asking me, or was that just?
Well, I think Caro's last story was false, so I think she's going for a true one this time.
It
is kind of a.
Yes, I believe it. I mean, the other person was blind, and you were probably not with your glasses on, so.
The other person is blind. Caro's drunk.
I've got contact lenses and glasses. That's how blind I am.
Yeah.
Right. So why
let's vote, team?
Why decide? And I'll tell you the comments. A lot of people saying it's true. Some people are questioning the Royal Marines element of the story, though. So, Mark, do you want to corral your team?
And where were you again? Just briefly.
Ben el Magoon.
Where's that? Where's
High
that?
Atlas. The High Atlas of Morocco.
So why would the Royal Marines be rescuing you?
Well, because they were there.
You didn't trust the Moroccan Marines.
Hang on.
Oh no.
How long did it take the Royal Marines to get there?
About half an hour.
Thank you, commenters.
Surely that's got to be the one thing that makes us go, hang on a moment.
Did you ask for some ID?
Are we being stupid here? Is there an obvious reason why there should be Royal Marines knocking about in Morocco?
I missed that Royal Marine thing in Morocco. I'm now convinced she's lying.
They could have been there as a like a exchange thing or something, or as an exercise, or
But
I don't think
the first people the Moroccan emergency services are going to call. It's quite, well, if somebody was trapped on a Scottish mountain, you wouldn't call the Green Berets, would you?
Were you speaking like Moroccan?
Right, come on, answer now. That's it. Mark, what are you going for?
I was completely with everybody else and thinking that's true, but this Royal Marines detail has suddenly made me switch. If at the end of this, Caro goes, it's absolutely true, I just got the fact about the Royal Marines wrong. Stuart, Joe, Lilia?
Yeah, I think they have a Royal Marines in Morocco, coming from Gibraltar or whatever.
Do they?
Royal Moroccan Marines, Caro.
time. I'm going to go with Lilia.
Okay, hang on. Sorry, were they British? These people that rescued you, Caro?
Yes.
Did you ask for them especially? Did you let the sort of Moroccan rescuers go first, and you just said no, wait?
Nah, no, thanks.
We're British.
Right, come on, we need an answer.
Come on.
Surely that's got to make it. Oh, but Stuart makes a valid point. It was a lie last time.
What do you think now, Stuart, by the way?
I think it's
Stuart
possible.
just needs to go to the toilet.
The Royal Marines could well have been there as part of some sort of exchange, you know, like.
What, did they have to eat people's faces on a cake?
I mean, the soldiers will go off and do like sort of charity runs and that sort of thing in different countries. And
True or false?
Come on, that's enough now.
True. Lilia,
Caro, is it true or is it a lie?
You seriously believe that I was walking along the Benel Lagoon with a blind African physiotherapist tied to my back and we were saved by the Royal Marines? Do you honestly believe that?
No, we didn't. We didn't believe it, but then you fooled us.
It was absolutely true.
Oh, yes.
It was a trek for guide dogs for the blind, and there was 4 Royal Marines just doing the trek.
Oh, so they were just happened to be there anyway.
Yeah, but they were the brave guys, so they came back to get us 2 girlies stuck on the hill.
They weren't as brave as the blind dogs that were walking up the hill, though.
The dogs aren't blind, Craig. The dogs aren't blind. That wouldn't work.
Okay. I'll pay more attention.
All the comments now are about the Royal Marines being in Morocco and misappropriation of our national armed services is coming up. And they wouldn't stop training for dimwits up mountains. And all this right, let's go to the Stuart.
Okay. I was once a hand double for Dylan Moran.
No.
A hand double for Dylan Moran. Craig.
Right hand or left hand? Which do you use?
Both of them.
Let's see your hands. They're definitely hands.
Now let's see Dylan Moran's hands.
What were your hands doing that were purported to be Dylan Moran's hands?
Close-up shots of playing guitar.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
What was it for? What recording was it?
It was for a one-off drama made by RTE. Broadcaster. They did a series or did a run. This is around the late 90s, just before Black Books. My dog's about to let himself in the room, I think. RTE did like a run of like one-off dramas. They were broadcast sort of like at the end of the schedule at night. And this one was produced just outside my hometown of Armagh, and they filmed a film for a day in this big barn that they converted to like a venue, a musical venue, for the purposes of filming. And I had to coach him and sort of how to make it look like he was playing guitar from a distance. And then I had to step in and
play the
guitar part.
Right. So this is an actor.
Yes.
Comedian, yeah.
Was he sober?
He was, yeah. He was smoking heavily, but he was sober.
Okay.
So did you have to do it because his hands were nicotine stained?
No, it did because he
Did
didn't.
you have the nicotine up your hands?
No.
Yeah, I see.
Abir.
What was your hometown again?
Armagh.
Correct. Right. That's all I've got right now. Back to me. Carry on.
Thank you, Detective Sergeant Mukherjee.
In the comments, someone's pointing out, the bookshelves pointing out that Stuart looks a bit like Dylan Moran, but it could just be them. I mean, you ain't asked to body double at all, other than
Stuart looks like Saddam Hussein when he crawled out of that tunnel. He doesn't look anything. I look more like Dylan Moran than Stuart.
Okay, so moving along a bit, my thinking here is that Stuart picked up on that Caro had done a lie previously with Switch to a Truth. So in his head, he doesn't want to get caught the same way. So instead of doing a truth and a lie, he's doing 2 truths. So I'm saying it's true.
Okay, true. Craig says true. Caro, what do you think?
Again, I think it's probably 90% truth with a wee twist of fibulation, but I'll go with true because I don't want to fall out with Craig.
Abir?
No, you had me at Armagh. So.
And Alex?
Well, I find hand doubling perfectly plausible. I'm suspicious of the details about the barn and everything, but I'll go with true because everybody else did.
Okay, before you tell us, Stuart, in the comments, some people saying it's true. My dad says Stuart's a badass guitar player, so could be true. Colin's asking if you're talking about the same Dylan Moran. A lot of people are saying he's a very good guitar player, so possibly. And then 3 people instantly say lie, lie, lie. So, Stuart, is this a truth or is it a lie?
Well, if you look at some of my early author bios, I knew a thing that that's what I used to do for a living. List guitar teacher and this sort of thing. And one of the entries is hand double for a well-known Irish comedian. But it was Ardal O'Hanlon.
Yeah.
We're on the comeback trail.
It's now 7-5.
How's it 7-5?
It's time to bring in the big guns.
Abir.
Abir.
Right, so I once got invited to an erotic literature convention by the Erotic Writers Society of America. That's having mistaken me for another author who has the same name as me but writes erotic fiction.
Oh, Mark, kick us off on this one.
Which city was it in, the convention?
I think it was Atlanta.
Okay. So you just told them straight away. Was it by email or?
Well, no, I got the invitation. Well, it came through my agent, to be fair. So and so the thing is, there's another Abir Mukherjee, and he writes a lot of different stuff, including erotic fiction. There's a book called Sin is the New Love, for which I've had lots of good reviews. But on the back of that, I got invited to the Erotic Literature Convention or whatever it was in Atlanta, Georgia.
And you didn't go?
No, I did. No, I didn't go.
No, I would have gone.
Well,
No, you would have gone.
I pointed out that it wasn't me and that we might all look the same to you. And they said, it's not that, you have the same name, you idiot. I said, yes, that's a fair point.
Okay, let's keep
Could
this
have
on.
been the Asian Chuck Tingle.
Joe, what do you think of this?
I think it's true now because he didn't go. If he had gone, I would have yeah, that's a total lie. But now I'm like, I can actually believe this happened.
Do you agree with that, Stuart?
Like I said, he could have been the Asian Chuck Tingle. Was there any specificity to the erotic fiction that your namesake writes? Is it like dinosaur erotica, or is it like
I don't
regular
believe
erotica?
I haven't read it, to be honest, so I couldn't tell you.
You must have Googled him. You must have Googled him.
I've Googled, I don't need to. I get people who send me requests on Twitter for him that I forward to him, and he forwards people to me when it's me. So if it's
you actually kind of virtually know each other, then?
Well, we sort of know on Twitter, but that's about it. We don't actually know each other.
You're bound to know one of the titles of his books, then.
Sin is the New Love.
How did you find that out?
Because when you type Abir Mukherjee into Amazon, it comes up as one of my books.
People in the comments think you should get a new agent, by the way.
I think my agent thinks I should get a new agent as well.
And Paul Gitcham says, Abir Mukherjee, master of the Mucky murder mystery. Lilia, I'm assuming you think this is true.
Yes.
Would you have any questions?
Yes.
No, I'm just still can't believe you didn't go.
Yeah. Okay, Lilia, you can explain that one to my wife. I'm just off to the Erotic Literature Convention in Atlanta, Georgia. You look after the kids for 2 weeks.
My brother thinks it a lie. Mark, do you agree with my brother?
I tend to agree with your brother. I can't believe that we wouldn't know this. I just can't believe it wouldn't be the kind of thing. Did you know Abir shares a name with this erotic fiction writer? I can't believe it's the kind of thing that people wouldn't have talked about. I think it's nonsense.
Go and Google it now.
I think it's nonsense.
Can I ask the question? This might answer it. These erotic books, are they heavy when you hold them in one hand?
I use the Kindle, so I wouldn't know. It's white clean.
Joe.
How many books has he written?
2 or 3 or 4, I don't know.
It's falling apart now.
It's
Oh,
nonsense.
not
It's
me.
nonsense.
I don't know the guy.
Because, you know, if it happened to me, I would look up every single book that she'd written and I'd read them.
No, it's a guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I'm saying. If there was a Joe Spain writing erotica
Oh,
fiction, I would have read them all and I know them all. So I just think if this had happened to you,
No, seriously, this guy exists, and I have never read any of his stuff.
Mark, Corral, Yassine, what are you going for?
Well, I'm going false.
I'm going false.
False.
Is it 3-1 again, Lilia?
3-1.
Yes, I believe it.
Okay,
I
Abir,
just
big
can't
fat
believe it.
liar.
No.
There is another Abir Mukherjee. He does write a book, well, books, one of which is Sin is the New Love, but I never got invited to.
Oh, it's a lie. It's a big fat lie. It's now 7-6.
7-6.
That's not good.
The comeback is on.
And it's going to be Joe or Lilia, isn't it?
Joe.
Joe, come on, Joe.
Okay. Which one?
This is like Trump. Stop the vote. Stop the vote.
Minnesota dialing. Okay. When I was 12, I was attacked by a German Shepherd. And rather than pay for the dog to be put down, which is what you're supposed to do, the guy who owned the dog slit the dog's throat on a field next to our house. And 2 weeks later, slit his wife's throat in the house.
Holy
Let's
crap.
finish on a funny one. I'm glad you said dog, by the way, because you just said German Shepherd, and then there was a big pause. Wow.
Big pause. Is that big pause?
Wow.
Okay, it's hard to know where to start with that.
This is going to be one of those where it'll be. Oh, it's completely true, except it was a spaniel.
Did you know him, Joe?
How did you feel when they cut the dog's throat? Did you think that was fair?
I didn't feel good because we actually bred German Shepherds. That's
Okay.
where
What was the circumstances of the attack?
myself and my sister were running to a shop and she ran on ahead of me and I was following her and she had alerted the dog and the dog leapt over the gates of the house and ran at me. But because we bred dogs, I knew enough to kind of stand still, or maybe it was just, I just screamed and stood there and he bit my tie and then ran away.
He bit your tie?
Yeah.
Right, so he didn't bite you, he just bit your tie?
My thigh.
Your thigh, sorry.
Your thigh. I thought you were in school had a tie.
Like a school tie. I thought he bit your tie.
It's Tim Busy all over again.
It's a bit rough. Get your throat cut for biting somebody's tie. That seemed harsh.
Caro, have you got a question?
Was the guy a nutter? I mean, did
He
you know
killed
he was
his
a
wife.
No,
Oh, it's cleverly said.
I mean, did Joe, obviously living close to the guy, if she was running past his house to get to the shop, was he like the nutter of the neighbourhood? And you thought he's going to kick off, and then it all just exploded in a terrible way?
I grew up in a very rough neighborhood. So we didn't just have one nutter, but the dog was certainly probably beaten.
Abir.
I'm going to defer to TV Luca for this one. What you know? So why did he kill his wife? What was he just having issues, mental issues, or? See, I'm having trouble believing this one. It's just too dark.
Huge grin on your face, Joe.
Maybe Joe got bitten by a dog, but the idea of the guy then killing his wife.
Why? Yeah. What was the thought, the logic through? What was the process? What happened?
I think he was just completely crazy. Apparently, he did it with drink on him. He just got really drunk one night and he just slit her throat. I mean, he was probably beating her for a long time beforehand.
Is this the plot of one of your books?
Then it's the plot of all of our next book now.
Well, I was going to say, my sister Alice says, if that's not true, that's a scary lie to make up. Proving once and for all that my family don't read my books. Because I hate to bring it to you, Alice, we do way worse stuff.
How old are you?
Say again, Alexandra?
How old were you?
I was 12.
And your sister?
She was 9, 10.
And you think the dog was after your sister? But
I think her running past the house alerted the dog.
I love the way Alex thinks she can get to the truth of this by trying to ascertain the dog's motives.
All right, let's go. Let's make a decision.
Yeah, come on.
No, I don't. No. Right, what do you think?
slit the wife's throats.
Abir?
No.
See, I do not want this to be true. I think I want this to be the subject of Joe's next book, and she's just advertising it now really cleverly. So I'm going to go false.
Caro?
Yeah, I'm going false. I think it's too dark to be pulled out on something like this. There's a cattail.
I hope it's a cattail.
Williams.
I think it's true, but I'll go with them. So either way, I'm going to win.
Okay.
So the team is saying false.
The team saying false. Joe, is it truth or is it a lie?
It is completely true.
Yes!
Jesus.
I can't believe you're clapping that. A woman's died.
Come on, Mark.
I'm clapping the point that Joe so skillfully earned for us.
Mark's not competitive for everybody. He is applauding a woman's brutal.
I just thought I could do dark because we're crime writers.
No, you can. No,
Yeah,
that's
you
absolutely fine.
That is the worst story I've ever heard.
So just to clarify then, that story's still available to be put into a novel, right? Yeah.
Wow.
In my novels, you know.
I'm just asking for a friend.
You know that wasn't a main
Anyone who
story.
cut the
You never
dog's
kill the dog.
Why wouldn't they do the next thing? Yeah.
That's
All right, I think we should move on beyond this.
Yes, it's 7-all. Craig.
Oh, we're going round again.
Oh, it's,
No, I've only done one.
he has only done one.
Oh, okay.
It just feels like two.
All right, so I've got to choose between two quick decisions. Okay, the last time I went fishing, the only thing I caught was you and McGregor.
In what way?
Do you want to ask me or I'll just tell you?
Where were you fishing? Where was this?
Lilia and Teeth, the only lake in Scotland.
And you flicked your line over your head.
Pretty much that. He wasn't there by chance, just to speed it up. We were, it was when I was a journalist and we'd been running a campaign to raise money for a new children's hospice. Ewan McGregor was a big supporter, and one of the charity days we did was a fishing thing. I was on a boat with him and two other celebrities, and I caught his coat.
Was it fly fishing or worm?
I'm not the kind of person who puts their own thing. I get somebody to put them on the end of the hook for me. So I couldn't tell you what that was. It was a lure. Is that what they're called? Lures.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I caught his, yeah.
You were on a boat.
Yes. It's the only way you can fish there.
Sorry, where was it again? I missed that.
The Lake of Menteith.
Joe, what do you think of this?
Are you friends with Ewan McGregor?
No. I interviewed him for this campaign a couple of times, but no, I'd like to just say yeah, we're friends, but no. We certainly weren't friends after it.
You met him on the fly.
Paul in the comments would like to point out there's an ointment for that, capturing Ewan McGregor. Because I just assumed it was like some kind of Scottish dialect issue,
Rhyming slang.
Of course, a bit of a Ewan McGregor.
I think that Craig is...
An idea what this might be? Is it true?
Yeah, I think it's true because I think Craig is incredibly devious. And I think because he went true last time, we'll think that he'll go false this time. So I think he's gone for 2 trues. I think it's true.
Stuart,
or if it's not true, it's one of those ones where he went fishing and it wasn't Ewan McGregor, it was another actor. But it's got the ring. It's got the ring of truth. Got the ring of truth to me.
I think if it was false, I think a writer of Craig's caliber would have put more detail and more color in this. As it stands, it's a fairly cut Ewan McGregor with a hook. Yeah. Good story, but not a lot of detail.
I think it's true. I have noticed that Ewan McGregor has a point here. he has like a mark here. I think it's that was you.
Lilia, I hope you never get called to do jury service. Unless I'm on trial, obviously. Joe?
No.
I think it's true.
There we go.
Mark, what's your answer then?
Well, we're unanimous that it's true.
Okay.
Craig Robertson,
Stuart
you
who thinks it's
devious
false.
devil. Oh, it's not, is it?
It's completely and utterly false.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It was Robert Downey Jr.
Oh.
None of it's true. None of it is true.
None of it's true.
None of it. Not one bit of it.
Right.
Oh,
It's
Lily,
now 8-7, and it's the last one, and we're going with Lilia.
All right.
True.
Oh, no.
It's true.
Come on, Lilia.
Okay. Okay. I think I will go for this one. Yeah. Two of my early role models in life
We're chicken.
were the two prostitutes living and worked on the floor above us when I was 12 in Reykjavik.
Were you not in Mexico when you were 12?
No, we moved home that year, and this is the flat we moved into, and we had these lovely neighbors.
Okay. Why were they your role models?
Oh, because they slept late, and they were, they were on their like dressing gown, or you say like bathrobe all day, smoking cigarettes from this long, stick, and they were like seemed to have a very cozy lifestyle and glamorous. And I sought very much into going to visit them, and my mom wasn't keen on that, and because this is very confusing, because in Iceland we have this word for prostitutes, which is happy women. So if you say gleðikona, means a happy woman, but it also means a prostitute. So my mom was always saying, I mean, you shouldn't be mixing with them because they are happy women. I thought it was great that they were happy.
Caro?
Yeah.
Caro.
Not totally convinced. No. I think if you've spent years in Mexico fighting with cocks, then I think you would know what two prostitutes were up to, whether they were in their dressing gowns or not. I think he's fibbing.
Abir, do you agree with that?
No, I'm not sure, because is the issue that upstairs from Lilia were two prostitutes, or is the issue that they were her role models? See, I don't know. See, I can believe that they were upstairs. Although, do prostitutes stay on the first floor? It's generally the bottom floor, isn't it?
Well, you'd know.
Allegedly.
Abir.
Wait a minute. I want to know, did you see men going up and down those stairs all the time?
Yes, all the time. Yeah. And they were like, they had this
All the time, yeah.
client group that were like very nicely smelling older men that brought flowers. They were like
Nicely smelling older men.
class of
Were
ladies.
you sniffing them as they passed?
They brought flowers. No, I see. And they had cigarettes with the holders, you were saying.
Yeah.
See, this sounds like a film you've watched.
Yeah. What were their names, Lilia?
I don't remember. I'm sorry. They are both dead, because I know that because I saw that when I was looking for a flat a few years back, I saw that their flat was up for sale, and it was still decorated as it was, with the two living rooms had been turned into their workspaces with just beds in the middle.
I mean, they might have just moved. I don't know if we should just kill them off at this point in the story. Craig, what are you going to get your team together? There's a lot on this, Craig. It's 8-7.
I think it's not.
You get this right, you win.
I lean towards not true, but I'm prepared to be persuaded by my teammates. Not that I'm shifting responsibility. I'm not sure.
What do you think, Alex?
I don't think I could ever figure out what Lilia is thinking.
I think Lilia thinks it's true.
I feel very sure that I've seen this movie. So I'll say false.
Okay, Caro, do you think
Yeah,
it's
if they
true?
were her role models, she would know their name or a name that she called them when she
I think so
was
too.
12. So I think it's false.
For that very reason, I too think it's false. So do we all think it's false?
Yeah.
I think
No.
there's some things in there which just sound so false. They might be true, like the cigarette holder and the old nice smelling men with their flowers. That can't. It's a head.
I like the idea that Icelandic men going to use sex workers are making an effort. I like
Where are they
that.
getting flowers from in the winter months?
We
grow them in
actually
greenhouses.
saying false.
You're saying false. Okay, in the comments, it's 50-50. A lot of people pointing out that breakfast at Tiffany's, they had cigarette holders. And working from home is very popular these days, Paul says.
Yeah.
So, Lilia, put us out of our misery. Is this a truth or is this a lie?
It's true.
Hey!
Although saying that maybe role model is a bit of a strong word, but these women made a huge impression on me.
So much so that you didn't know their names.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was 12 and I used to drink a lot of coffee with them, but...
And you never knew their names?
Yeah, I probably
The
did.
language
Not for
deficiency.
now, I mean...
Right. So
I have
the
chickens.
story is actually that you lived downstairs from prostitutes. Nothing else. That's your story. As opposed to these women, I modeled my life on them. But
Well, I maybe I got the idea there that working at home is cozy, so maybe that influenced me being a writer, staying in the bathroom all day.
Now you're lying.
Wow.
It's 8-all now.
I think that's a fair result.
I think that's a fair result. I mean, we could have a tiebreaker, but let's not. Let's just get on it more.
What time is it?
Because that comeback was something special.
5 to 10.
Exactly.
Oh my God. I've got drinking to do.
Yeah.
The comeback was special. At one point, it was like 7-1. So
then the postal votes came in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are going to leave it there. So
That was so much fun, Luca. Listen, thanks for doing this. You and Craig organising. This was ace. This was
Can I
ace.
just say,
As I said on the last one.
isn't it traditional that you play us out on the guitar, Luca?
No, it's not traditional.
I think it is.
I literally moved it. It's not even here. It's not even here.
I have not laughed so much in ages. That was brilliant.
Before we go, look, are you going to mention Tuesdays?
Yes,
Okay.
I am. So on Tuesday night at 8, what time is it? 7:30 or 8 o'clock?
7:30.
7:30. We'll be launching on this channel Susie Holliday's new book, The Last Resort. Huge guests are going to be on there with Susie, along with me and Craig, and she'll be doing a lot of giveaways. If you go on her,
Hundreds of giveaways.
what'd you say?
Hundreds of giveaways.
Yeah, I mean, if you go on social media, you'll see all the pictures of the stuff that you're giving away. Honestly, you need to be there because there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's chocolates in there, and that was what I saw, and that was my instant interaction. But yeah, that's I think it was 8 o'clock, wasn't it?
No, well, check. We'll put it out on our Twitter feeds and Facebook things, etc.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 7:30, but we'll let you know.
I'll tell you what, there is I do have the details here. I should have looked up before we started. It's 7:30. It's 7:30, and I'm going to show you this now because this is the way to do it. That's what's happening. 7:30 on this channel, Tuesday, 1st of December. That's 7:30 GMT. Come and join us for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you can win all kinds of prizes. But I'm just going to say, as I said last time, this is the next best thing to all being together at festivals. I've had a ball, and I hope everyone else has as well who's been watching along. I just want to say thank you to Caro, Abir,
Thank you.
Lilia, Craig, Alex, Joe, and Mark. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. We're going to do a quiz, aren't we, Craig?
We are going to do a Christmas quiz at a time yet to be decided, but probably about a week before Christmas, either Friday or Saturday, depending on the availability of the contestants who we haven't chosen yet for us.
Exactly.
But other than that, it's all in hand, and I have to write the questions.
Yes. But thanks everyone for watching. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you, everyone. Bye now.